Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi! My name is Nikki and I make videos about setting, journaling, and occasionally I will also upload vlogs. So if you're interested in that and you do like K-pop, I would highly recommend you would hit that subscribe button to see a video of me every week. In this week's video I wanted to talk about calligraphy and give you a little bit of advice and talk a little bit about my journey and maybe hopefully inspire or motivate you if you're currently learning calligraphy and struggling or not struggling and you just want some inspiration. I hope this video will kind of help you out, and honestly I have to admit I just made a new printable and I wanted to share it on YouTube, so that's why I decided to dedicate a whole video about it. But that does not mean that this video is useless. No. Don't click away. This is not a tutorial and I'm not going to teach you how to do calligraphy. If you are interested in that, then you can check out a video I made about like 2 years ago. My calligraphy was kind of bad back then, but I still stand by all the tips that I said in this video, so there's some helpful advice. I'll link it up here, so make sure to check that out. If you don't want to watch my video, I totally understand that, and you can do that too. Just type in on YouTube calligraphy tutorial, how to do calligraphy. There's a bunch of amazing creators that will actually teach you how to do calligraphy that are way better than I am. Honestly, at the end of the day, it really just depends on yourself, because calligraphy is an art, and with any form of art, nobody can really teach you how to do it, because make it your own. Over time, you will kind of develop your own style. And if you don't believe me, you'll ever develop your own style. That's fine, but one day you will, because trust me, I was like that too. I thought I would never develop my own calligraphy style, and guess what? I did. After several years of hard practice. I lost track on where I ended my intro, and I don't know if this is still a part of my intro or wherever. I'm just gonna call it intro. Let's move on to the topics that I want to talk about today. I can already see that this video is a mess, but that is because this video is basically me sharing my advice and talking a little bit about my journey. Hopefully someone will get motivated by that. You're not lost in your calligraphy journey, trust me, because you clicked on this video. So the first thing that I want to talk about are pens. When it comes to pens and calligraphy, a lot of people, myself included, will tell you that it's totally fine if you start with whatever pen you have. You don't need to invest a lot in stationery at the beginning. You might find out that calligraphy is just not for you, and then there you have it, wasted all your money. So better not waste your money yet, unless you're very short. Or you're just not risk averse and you like to spend money. That's totally fine. I can totally understand that, because I'm like that as well. But on a realistic standpoint and on a finance standpoint, because I'm a finance major, don't spend your money yet. You can use any pen. Honestly, if you don't believe me, there's people who actually use highlighters to do calligraphy, and hell yeah, they're very good at it. I tried it, I failed miserably. Once you like start getting into calligraphy and you actually want to like try brush pens, then there you go, just buy them. The thing that a lot of people say is that an expensive brush pen does not equal a good brush pen. That is true to some certain degree. My honest review, personally I like the Tombow brush pens the most. Their ink is just, they're double-sided. Personally I did not find any other ones, because I live in Germany and you know accessing stationery here is hella hard. That's why I'll just stick to my Tombows. Once you find a brand that you actually like, you're gonna stick with it, and for me it's Tombow. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree on that, because I know a lot of people hate Tombow brush pens, but I'm sorry, I like them. You know, find a good brush pen that works for you, you know, and that is also like kind of affordable. My personal choice is the Tombow Fudenosuke in hard tip. This bad boy here has been through a lot with me. Actually, it's not the same one. I actually have gone through multiple of these. This is one of my favorite brush pens, and again, it's from Tombow. I told you that I like this brand. It's a little bit thinner, but I think it's perfect for starting with calligraphy with brush pens, in my opinion. It's very affordable, I think. Oh yeah, you have to buy it in a pack when you order it online, but if you like split it, it's around €1 or $1 for one pen, which is actually not that bad. Or maybe it's a little bit more, I don't know. I bought it for like €3 or €4. It was hella expensive, but that was back then. And now the prices are getting lower because there's more demand and there's more competition on the market, so you can get it for a very good price. I totally forgot to mention that I'll link everything, every product that I'm talking about down below, so make sure to check that out. If you want, you can use my links. I would very much appreciate it, but no pressure at all. There's a soft one and there's a hard one from this pen, and I personally like the hard one more. Especially if you're a beginner, you have to kind of have like a feeling in your wrist and your hand on how much pressure you should apply so it looks good for your own, you know, style. It's very hard to see how much pressure you have to apply when you use a soft brush pen. When I first started, I bought the soft one. I practiced with this. It looked terrible because you were not able to distinguish my downstrokes from my upstrokes, because everything was just a hot mess, if I could say that. Also, this brush pen used to be only available in black. I think a year ago or something, they also came out with more colors than just black, because again, this pen was very hyped. I bought 2 of those colors. I think you can buy the pack on Amazon, so I'll link that down below as well. I don't really like the ink of these colors. They're just a little bit too vibrant for me. Personally, not really my style because I like more muted colors, but again, if you want to experiment with colors, I think this is a great way to start. Personally, I started with the Tumble dual brush pens. I got the pastel pack when I first started out. It was very expensive back then. I think they lowered the price now a little bit, but it's still expensive. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. I think nobody would really recommend that. Again, when you start out, it's very hard to like know how much pressure you have to apply, and that also can kind of like fray and destroy your pen, because that's what I did. Don't do that. Also, if you don't want to buy a brush pen, you can obviously use your iPad. If you happen to have Procreate, which is again an app that you have to pay for, but if you do happen to have it, there's also brush pen options there. You probably already know this, but I'm just saying this, I'm just putting it out here in case you forgot. Again, I don't really know if an iPad is like a good idea to start practicing with, because again, you don't have a real brush pen, you don't even have a real pen, you just have your Apple Pencil. I'm not saying this is bad, but if you're more into digital art, it's probably better. But for me, I like my paper and pen. Also, back then, I did not have an iPad. Sounds like I've been practicing calligraphy for a century, but no, technology has just improved a lot. Also, I've been practicing calligraphy for around a little bit longer than 3 years. The other thing that I want to talk about is paper. I think it's no mystery that smooth paper and good paper is very important because you don't want to destroy your brush pens. I'm guilty of that, otherwise it's gonna fray your tip. However, I have to say, if you use the Tombow Fudenosuke, it's not necessary to have smooth paper. Probably it is, but let's be honest, who wants to spend money on paper? I don't, so I just used regular printing paper. It did fray out my brush pen a little bit, but not as bad as the Tombow dual brush pens, so I think it's totally fine, especially considering that these pens are very cheap. My personal recommendation about paper is the Muji paper, but again, I'm not an artist, so I don't know. I think Muji paper is very soft and not as expensive as other high quality papers, even though it's kind of like a little bit see-through, but I think it's fine. Again, just for practice, so who cares, right? Also, another thing that I want to talk about is time. Don't stress. Don't stress. I know the phrase don't stress, you're probably tired of it, because every person who is suffering from a lot of stress, saying don't stress does not make it better. It makes it even worse. I'm just saying, this should not be stressful at all. If it is stressful for you to learn calligraphy, then don't do it. Take a break and ease your mind. But if you're stressed because you think you're not good enough, watch until the end of the video. You should really take your time when you letter. People don't, you know, letter as fast as videos because they're usually sped up. Take your time, and especially when you're lettering, take breaks in between the letters. When I was writing my letters, I would like think in my head like, okay, I'm gonna write this letter right like this, then write it out, and then I would like reposition my pen, think about how I want to write the next letter. Really, believe me, it took a long time to have this feeling on how you want your letters to look, especially in the beginning when you don't even know what your lettering style is. So don't feel discouraged, take your breaks and just practice, practice, practice. We're almost at the end of the video. I just quickly wanted to give, oh not quickly, this is probably gonna be long. I just want to give you some encouragement, and I know it's very tempting nowadays when you go on Instagram and you see all these people have like beautiful handwriting or lettering, and you ask yourself, why does my calligraphy look I totally get that. I was there as well. People are like, oh my god, I wish my lettering was like yours. Mine looks like terrible. Why can't I do this and stuff? And it might sound so useless when I say that I understand how you feel, because you probably don't even believe me, because you're like, how can you possibly understand? Your calligraphy is amazing. But again, I haven't been like this always. I practiced for, again, 3.5 years. I'm gonna show you my first journal entries. I'm gonna show you my calligraphy practice. These are not even the terrible ones. Like, I had some very bad ones, but I just practice on scratch paper, so I just throw it away afterwards. So I don't have those to show you anymore, but I managed to practice a lot and I was very patient. If I can do it, you can do it too. I'm not an artist by any means. I don't even know how to draw a flower. This applies for like basically everything in life. But speaking for calligraphy, when you go on Instagram and you see people with beautiful handwriting, you never know how long did they practice, or you never know how long it took them to get this specific word lettered. It usually takes me a few times until I get that right. I always do mistakes, and I think no matter what level you are, you will always make mistakes. Like, just be willing to improve yourself and stop thinking so bad about yourself. I know this sounds so cliche, but just have a little bit of hope. I'm showing you what my journal looked like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. You see how much I improved? You can improve every day if you just stay consistent. I feel very honored, of course, when people tell me that my lettering is beautiful. Sometimes I look at my lettering and I think, this looks terrible. So you don't know, there's probably someone out there who thinks your lettering is beautiful. This is all just in your mind, what you constantly tell yourself. Yes, there are people online who are just talented, you know. You can be just like them if you work hard. Sometimes you just have to accept the fact that you're not gifted in certain areas, and I know it sounds harsh, but once you accept it, you realize that you can change it and teach the things yourself. And by teaching, you will learn so many things along the way. You need discipline, patience, and consistency. Discipline because you have to be able to accept your failure. Hello, this is Editing Nikki, interrupting my terrible speaking skills because I feel like I did not express the point that I was trying to make correctly. So basically what I was trying to say is that you should be disciplined in terms that you should be able to accept your failures, and more importantly, you should be able to pick yourself up after failure and start over again and focus on your own path rather than comparing yourself with others and wasting your time by doing so. I'm not saying it's bad to, like, you know, look at other people and take inspiration from their lettering, because that's what I did in the beginning. So yeah, accept failures and it's totally fine. You know, we're just humans. And the next thing, consistency. If you practice consistently, you will see results even faster than I did, because I did not practice consistently. Well, sometimes I did, but then I had a break again, and you know, I was just like, whatever. The moment I started to be consistent, I got results very fast. Patience is so important for everything in life, honestly. So important when it comes to things that you're learning. And same goes for calligraphy. And practice a lot of different styles. Take inspirations from others, but don't compare yourself to the point that you put yourself down and download practice sheets, download workbooks. Again, you're always free to use my practice sheet. It's linked in the description down below. Make sure to tag me when you use the practice sheet though, because I want to see your calligraphy journey and I want to see how you been practicing. At the end of the day, it's up to you, but yeah, I just wanted to know that you should never give up, no matter how bad it is, because it's really up to you how many times you are able to put yourself back together after you failed, and just do it over and over again, because that is life. I feel like I made it so dramatic in this video, as if calligraphy is something that is stressing out people. It's not. If you need more advice, always feel free to comment down below. I always reply. Sometimes my comments get deleted, but that is YouTube's fault. I hope you liked this video, and I wish you all a very beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching up until this point, because I really appreciate you. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. See you soon. And don't forget to practice.